What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. I'm here at Repticon, the September show. I'm here to see some awesome reptiles. I'm going to start off with these knob-tailed geckos. These guys are native to Australia.
Yes.
You guys know Peter Birch of Colorful Critters in Australia breeds these guys with ease. So I just think, and I've seen some albinos, which unfortunately we're never going to own, sadly. These are so cool. You want a cool gecko, much like a leopard gecko, these guys can get kept in a rack. They do eat insects though, so if you guys are looking for a cool gecko, check these out. Here we've got an Antaresia children eye. These guys are native to Australia. It's really unfortunate that Australia doesn't export because they found some albinos. They are just phenomenal children's pythons. Peter Birch again breeds these guys with ease. These are such cool animals. You guys are looking for a python. This is about as big as he's gonna get. You guys want a cool snake? A children's python? Could be for you. Look at how beautiful he is. Here we've got an Orange Dream Gene X Fire Yellow Belly Piedball Ball Python. Now the pied was produced right here in Maryland by Peter Call. And now we also got Gene X that was produced by Justin Kobulka in Florida and Georgia. We've also got Orange Dream produced here in Maryland by Oz. The Fire, which is produced in the UK. The Fire is linked to the black-eyed leucistic. Now we've also got the Orange Dream, which is another codominant trait, which is the Super Orange Dream is more highly orange. And of course we got the recessive pied, which is one of my favorites. And for you Patriots fans, the Yellow Belly is linked to the Ivory. And believe it or not, Chad Brown, who used to play for the Patriots, bought an ivory ball python from Peter Call for $125,000. And this guy's like, hey, what's going on here? Hey, you just destroyed my nap, go away. Of course you can go back to your nap now, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Bodacious Balls, go show them some love. Meet Titan, he's a Morelia Spiloti McDowley, which is a coastal carpet python. Another Australian snake. I know you guys are, well, I only show 2 Australian animals, but you guys know how much I love Australian reptiles. You guys know how much I love carpet pythons. Believe it or not, they do have some albino pure coastals in Australia. Every time I see those morphs coming out of Australia, I just get so jealous because we're never going to own one. But he's just like, yeah, let me chill. Cool snake, huh? Look at him now. Hey, buddy. Meet India. She's a huge boa constrictor. Look at how big she is. You guys know how much I love boa constrictors. You know how much I want another one. She's just such a beautiful snake. Look at how docile she is. It's about as big as she's gonna get. She's actually one of their mascots. Let's put a link to these guys. I think this is a pure Colombian. You guys know how much I love the Colombians. I tell you, sometimes seeing a normal animal is just as good as seeing a morph. Look at how beautiful she is. Let's see what else we can see here at the expo. Let's take a quick selfie with this girl. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be a Leachianus gecko. This is the largest gecko species in the world. These guys get much bigger than tokays, believe it or not. But believe it or not, these guys can eat insects mostly. They don't eat rodents. They can feed them nectar as well, and certain fruit as well. Look at him. He's just so inquisitive. If you ever walk through New Caledonia, you actually walk by these like maybe 1,000,000 times without even knowing that they're there. Just look at how cute that face is. These guys are more intermediate lizards. So these are not for beginners, so you need to have a little bit more experience. Other than that, this is such a cool animal. Look at how cool he is. Hey, buddy. All right, let's have a look at some awesome, more Australian animals. Here we've got the Australian water dragon. These guys are like the squirrels of Australia. They're so common. I actually remember I was watching the Irwin's show. These guys are everywhere at the zoo. Because they're pretty cool. Not for beginners, only for intermediates. These guys I think you should have some experience. You need an aquatic aquarium. These guys do need some filtration. So, guys, and you have the space. These can be really cool, but make sure you have experience. But this is such a cool animal. It's rare to see these guys, to be honest. This would be South Africa's equivalent of the corn snake and the garter snake. The fact that kids like to catch these, as well as they're very polymorphic. This is a black house snake. So sketchy. Don't be sketchy. Relax, buddy. There we go.
This is not our size.
This is not. This is about as big as he gets. Believe it or not. This is such a cool snake. If you guys are looking for a snake, but you don't want something that gets too big, a house snake is very underrated. Look at how beautiful this guy is. Look at the iridescence on this monkey. You guys know my cousins when I was at South Africa at Rolf's place, showing off a bunch of house snakes. This is very close to what he produces. Look at how beautiful and inquisitive they are, guys. So if you guys are in South Africa, remember you guys have to have a permit unless you live in KZN. So, but if you guys have you have a lot of space, a house snake could be for you. Let's see what else we can see here. That's such a beautiful animal. See ya, buddy. This happens to be a rosy boa. These guys are native here in the U.S., believe it or not. A lot of people think of boas. They would think of the boa constrictors native to South America, the sand boas native to Africa, some Asian boas. But here in the U.S., we have 2 boas. We've got the rosy boa and we got the rubber boa. I don't think I've seen any rubber boas here in the States because here at the show, because I think they're highly protected in certain states. But anyway, this is a rosy boa. If you guys are looking for a boa that doesn't get as big as a boa constrictor, this is the perfect beginner boa. Look at the pattern. The reason why they're called rosy boas is because their bellies have a little bit of a rosy color, and if you can see there. But just have a look at how cool this monkey is. Beautiful snake. Again, if you guys are looking for a boa, a rosy boa is the perfect option. This happens to be a new gene of ball python. This happens to be a pixel, which is a co-dominant trait that was founded by one of my favorite YouTubers, Justin Kabelka. He founded the snake, I don't know when, but have a look at how beautiful. It's got like a beautiful colors on it. It's got a few eyeballs on it. You guys know how much I love ball pythons. This is such a cool snake to see. It's one of the few in the world right now. This is going to be, without a doubt, going to be one of my favorites. I know I say that all the time, but I love ball pythons and I love seeing something new. As Brian used to say, by the time the great grandkids, they're still going to be finding new ball python morphs. Just look at how beautiful this guy is. Another fire. This happens to be a fire pixel ball python. You guys know how much I love fire. The fire is linked to the black-eyed leucistic, which is, of course, you got three favorites of leucistics. You got the blue eye, the black eye, and the ivory. This is the fire, which I think it makes it much more brighter. And I think fire is really an enhancing gene. You add pastel or less and lesser to this animal, this snake is going to pop even more. So I gotta get myself some pixels now. Look at how beautiful this guy is. Show these guys some love. Morphs, show these guys some love. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be Hannibal. He happens to be a Miami corn snake. You guys know how much I love corn snakes. I think corn snakes are the best pet snake. Well, for some people, because you know the babies can be a bit squirmy, and they do move around a lot. But anyway, this is kind of a cool animal. You guys know how much I love corn snakes. So you guys looking for a cool snake? The corn snake is definitely the best way to start off, unless you have a problem with it being squirmy. But anyways, just look at how beautiful this monkey is, as Brian used to say. This happens to be a spot nose butter heterozygous for clown. You guys know how much I love spot nose. Co-dominant, which creates the Powerball, and the butter, which is linked to the blue-eyed leucistics. Again, for you Patriots fans, you guys know Chad Brown bought the white snake from Peter Call, like I said earlier. Anyways, I love butter. It's such a cool snake. You guys know my friend in South Africa, DJ Van Wyck, loves spot nose. He's bought one thing he loves to do is just breed this. I've seen his spot nose collection, and it's just incredible. You guys know spot nose is just such a cool snake. Such a cool animal. Show these guys some love. Meet the Dumerul's boa. You guys know how much I love the movie Madagascar. You guys know it was my favorite movies as a child. These happens to be Dumerul's boas, which are native to Madagascar. These guys get almost as big. Don't get as big as a Colombian boa constrictor, but they do get pretty big. Stand there, Kate, buddy. Come on. Stand there. So these guys are almost blended so well with their surroundings. This is one of my favorite snakes. You guys know my friend in South Africa, Rolf, imported these from Madagascar once, and I think these are so cool. You guys looking for a boa? Sorry, buddy. This could be for you. We got two of them right here. Meet a really big gaboon viper. These guys are native to West Africa. Just kidding, guys. This happens to be a blood python. These guys are native to Borneo and Southeast Asia. These guys are so cool. A lot of times people want to judge them because they're mean and nasty, but this guy, I'm not going to blow him out because he doesn't want people to contaminate his animals, but this guy's really docile. We're like a fish and pull him out to show you guys, but look at how beautiful he is. I just love blood pythons. This happens to be an IMG boa, which is an increased melanin gene. The man, the myth, the legend, Peter Call and the Peter Call reptiles right here in Maryland produced the very first ones. Believe it or not, Pete was actually at a reptile expo in Florida. He bought a boa, and as it got older, it turned jet black, much like this animal. And this is such a cool snake. You guys know how much I love IMG boas. This happens to be Anthony Richardson. No, this is Tim Tebow. This is Rex Grossman. No, this is an American alligator. His name's Teddy, and I think he's a better QB than Anthony Richardson. Sorry, Colts fans. He's one of the animal mascots here at Eco Adventures. You guys, they're education based. What they do is these guys would actually use animals like Teddy here for wildlife outreach, and I think it's pretty cool that we have stuff like this here. Teddy. Now, American alligators are the largest crocodilian in North America. These guys don't get. These guys are the puppy dogs of the crocodilian world, as Brian used to say. You guys know how much I love alligators. So if you guys are looking, but I do not recommend keeping an alligator as a pet. They're not pets. You need to have a lot of space. If you live in Florida, you can get off-site permits. Anyways, this is such a cool animal. Hi, Teddy. Hopefully, maybe the Colts should put you as their quarterback this weekend. I'm sure you can throw a better pass than Anthony Richardson. Look at how hissy this little monkey is. This happens to be a piebald Burmese python. You guys know how much I love the pied. Have a look at how beautiful it is. I think this is a wayline pied. These guys, the pied is a recessive trait, meaning that if you breed it to a normal, they're all going to look normal and they're going to carry the trait for pied. This was produced in Taiwan by Alan Wei. And to tell you, Brian would go nuts. I think Brian went nuts when he saw the first pieds came out. I did too. Look at how beautiful he is. Just look at him right here. I love pied. Sometimes you can get high whites, you can get low whites.
My brother's got some.
This is such a cool snake, though.
My other friend's got some real high whites.
Wow. You guys hear that? Some high whites, but this is such a cool. You add pied to this, I mean, albino, the snake is going to be even cooler. Look at him. This happens to be a T-negative albino blood python. You guys know how much I love blood pythons?
Yeah.
So you guys know how much it's a recessive trait. You guys know my friend Clint in South Africa actually has T-negative albino blood pythons. almost the same time as these came out in the US, believe it or not, which I think is pretty cool. You guys know how much I love blood pythons. The stigma behind them is that they're nasty, they're mean. This guy is pretty docile. We just don't want to bring him out because he was just out for a while, so we're just gonna let him rest for a little bit. But sometime I'm gonna take a picture with a blood python to dispel that myth. But look at how beautiful this monkey is. Meet my new little buddy. This happens to be a Varanus acanthoris, a Ackie monitor or a spiny-tailed lizard. I know you guys are getting sick of me showing off some Australian reptiles. I just love all reptiles. I'll do some more stuff, I promise. But this happens to be an Ackie monitor, one of the smaller monitors. You guys are looking for a pet monitor. The Ackie is the perfect beginner monitor. These guys can be pretty docile from time to time. Just look at those spots on them. This guy's like, hey, go away. I'm trying to sleep here. Of course you can go, bud. This happens to be an Ultramel Caramel Albino Ball Python. This is a T positive and Ultramel, which is a double recessive. CNC Python Factory, William Chen. You guys gotta show them some love. I'm gonna put a link for their stuff in the description. This is such a cool animal. You guys know how much I love double recessives. This is also het for pied. Now the Caramel, believe it or not, I think it was produced by Kevin McCurley. It's one of the original founding snakes. So the T positive is more of a caramel hue to it. You guys know how much I love the caramel berm. This is the caramel ball python. I love it. I hope to have a caramel African rock. This is such a cool snake. Again, CNC Python, go show them some love. This happens to be a lily white crested gecko. You guys know how much I love crested geckos. Believe it or not, like I've told the story a bunch of times, the crested gecko was declared extinct until 1994. And then on a trip, some people found a small population and then they exported them for the pet trade. And now because of the pet trade, the crested gecko is thriving thanks to captive breeding. This happens to be a lily white, which is a recessive trait. Much more high white compared to the normal. Just have a look at how beautiful this little monkey is. Eyelashed Exotics, make sure you guys go show them some love. This girl's ready to just relax. This happens to be an Orange Dream Super Ashful GHI. You guys know how much I love GHI. Stands for gotta have it, and in this case, you definitely gotta have it. No, the Orange Dream is a co-dominant trait too. And it was produced right here in Maryland by Oz. And then it's also, like I said, it's a co-dominant, which is a higher orange. Now the Super Ashful is this homozygous form of Ashful, which is a really cool gene. It's one of my favorites, and GHI is also co-dominant. And which is also, and then the Super GHI is more black, earthy tones, which is such a beautiful snake. You add pastel to the snake is gonna pop even more. Old World Pythons, you guys have got to go check them out. They're gonna put a link for their Instagram in the description down below. Show them some love. Let's see what else we can see. I didn't even know the snake existed. This happens to be a Taranja ball python that was actually originated in the Netherlands. These are the first couple that were produced right here in the US, believe it or not. This is such a cool snake. It's a co-dominant trait. R&D constrictors. These guys, she was actually in Germany looking at Morph Market, and she fell in love, but she came across the snake on Morph Market here in the US. She fell in love with it. And then she went to Germany, and she was able to buy it. I don't think she was able to buy it in Germany, but she was able to export it here into the US. Now there's a super form, and unfortunately we don't know what that looks like. But this is such a cool snake. I think it's so cool that this is the only one sitter here in the US to see right here at this reptile expo. And surprisingly, it's so cheap too, about $200, not so bad. Last snake I'm going to show you guys is this beautiful Mojave Enchi pinstripe piebald ball python. You guys know my favorite morph in any animal is the pied. You guys know how much I like. I think it's just the black and white. You get high whites, low whites. Usually with an Enchi pied, it's usually high Enchi, low white. This happens to be the Mojave, which is co-dominant, which is produced by Dan Sutherland, I think, of the Snake Keeper. Now, of course, you know who produced the pinstripe ball python? None other than the legendary Brian Barczyk. You guys know I was at the Reptarium a few weeks ago. Such a beautiful snake. Pinstripe is one of my favorite genes, and Enchi 2 is produced in Sweden by Swedeballs, which is such a cool. There's Super Enchi's like a less patterning, and of course we got the pied that was produced right here in Maryland by Pete Call. Honestly, you guys have got to go check out Genetics Labs Reptiles. I'm going to put a link for their Facebook in the description. Make sure you guys go show them some love. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. God bless.